Part of this trigo graph sketching lesson is on y equals to a sine bx plus c or minus c, or cosine bx plus c or minus c. So that means if you have a constant behind. Actually, the first two parts, right, as long as you do it correctly, like, you know, identify your a, identify your b, make sure you find your amplitude. See, amplitude, maximum, minimum, period. We already covered step 1 to step 3. There's only the last part where you have a plus c and a negative c. Always draw an imaginary x-axis at C. Then we start sketching the graph according to C. Okay, what do I mean by that? It means that looking at this question, always right now, A equals to 2, B equals to 2, C equals to negative 1. But the changes is right. Amplitude, it doesn't change, it's still equals to 2. The maximum would be equals to 2 bracket 1 minus 1. Why? 2 is here. The maximum of a sine graph is 1. Then with a minus 1 down there. We write this as 1. Okay. Minimum. 2 bracket negative 1 minus 1. And that will be negative 3. Okay. See, all the concept is still the same. Finding the amplitude. Finding the maximum. Finding the minimum. Find the period. Amount of time to take to complete one cycle. Okay. This is equals to, okay, if the range is not given, always assume to be 360. Okay, over B. B is 2. So that means we have to complete one cycle in 180 degree. In 360 degree, we're going to complete 2 cycles. But the only difference is there is your C is at negative 1. Okay, C is your at negative 1. Means that next thing, you draw your axis now first. Okay. Y-axis, x-axis. The things must be proportionate. Now, you cannot use your ruler and then measure 1 cm, 1 cm, and label 1, 2, 3. You cannot label everything on the y-axis. You can only label the important points, which is the maximum point is 1. There is a dotted line at negative 1, and there's a minimum point at negative 3. So you see, by the space I gave from negative 1 to 3. Negative 3. It must be proportionate. Okay, it must be proportionate. Alright. So at this point, okay, usually these 4 dotted lines, right, will follow proportionately as well, which means this is 180 degree. This is 90 degree. This is 270 degree. This is 360 degree. Okay. Now I draw my sine graph. The period is 180 degree, means by 180 I must finish. Remember that the curve does not cut the 90 degree 270 at the axis anymore. It starts at the dotted line. So once you know how to use this dotted line, right, see, it ends at here. Go down, turn, ends at here. Okay, the important points always is at the dotted line. So this is not very nice. We can make it nicer. Okay. Go down, turn, come up. Yeah. Go up, negative 1. Okay, come down again. Go down, turn, come up, end at 360. Okay, this part probably could be a little bit better where it is. Okay, not so fat. Yeah. So that it's more proportionate that way. Yeah. So the important thing is, right, when you have a C, draw a dotted line at the C. Okay, actually, what is the significance of C? The significance of C was, before that, we are actually having a y equals to, yeah, so you see the red one, the red one. Oh gosh. Okay, the red one, it goes like that. This is y equals to 2 sine 2x. Okay, the blue one is called y equals to 2 sine 2x minus 1. It just means that the whole graph shifts down 1 unit. Okay, it just means that the whole graph shifts down 1 unit. Okay, so this is the significance of the C that is behind. Okay, whether is it positive, whether is it negative. Minus 1, it means it moved down. Plus 1 means it moved up by 1 unit. But always at the imaginary dotted line at the C, so that when you draw this graph, you know where to cut your important points. Okay, so let's go to the next one. 2 minus 3 cos x. So when you see minus 3 cos x, right, roughly in your mind, you must know, okay, the graph must flip. You know, instead of having a standard cosine graph, right, it doesn't look that way anymore. It will look like this way. Okay? Identify your A. Your A is equals to the number that comes with your cosine function, -3. B is equals to 1. C is equals to 2. Okay? So now what is the amplitude? The amplitude is equals to 3. Remember, amplitude does not have negative. Okay, amplitude does not have negative. The negative in the A only tells you that the graph is flipped only. That's the only significance of it. Alright? Maximum, when it is the negative, 2 minus 3 bracket. Are we going to use 1 to find the maximum? No. Because when it's negative here, we must use -1 to find the maximum. That will be 2 plus 3, and that's equals to 5. Okay? When it is minimum, we don't use -1 to find the minimum. We use 1 instead, and that will give you -1. Okay? And the period, because it's just x, it will seem simple. That will just be equals to 360 degrees. Alright? Well, once we got all our information here, we draw the axis. Okay? Use your pencil and ruler. Make sure you use your pencil and ruler. Okay? In fact, I have a ruler here, which I feel, okay, I should use a ruler here. Okay? And then use a ruler here, but it's just more time consuming, you see. Okay? For me to use the ruler. So, what is the first thing you should do? What is your C? Your C is 2, right? Draw a dotted line at 2. Okay, make sure it's proportionate. So that means 2 is here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And these 4 points try to be as proportionally spaced apart as possible. Maximum is 5. 5 is around here. Minimum is at -1. -1 is around here. Okay? And these are the important points: 180, 90, 270, and 360 degrees. Okay, so these are your 4 important points. How does the graph look? You only need to draw one cycle, right? Go up, turn at 180, come down, hit at 270, and then ends at 360. So this is your y is equals to 2 minus 3 cosine x graph. Okay, be very disciplined. First, always find out the A, B, and C. Then find out the amplitude, maximum, minimum, and period. If there is a C, draw the dotted line at the C. Make sure your graph cuts the important point at the dotted line and not at the x-axis anymore. Okay? Practice more, and you will get the hang of it. It is not that hard after all. And because many other students doesn't really like it, if you can be good at it, it will be to your advantage in your end of year exam. Okay? So this is the end of the lesson. For more videos, do subscribe, and I will try to update as much as possible. See you guys.